to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing an updated makeup routine because the last time I posted was literally like 9 months ago or something like that. But I'm back and I'm gonna show you guys my updated makeup routine because quite a few things have changed, and so yeah. So ignore my lashes. I literally have like 4 lashes on my eyes because I'm taking a break from extensions, and so I'm just letting them fall out because who's about to pay to get lashes removed? Like, they're already expensive enough. So skin prep has already been done except for primer. I'm going to show you guys what I use to prime, but before I prime I like to do my eyebrows, so we're going to get into that. So I use the Anastasia Dip Brow. This is in the shade Ebony, and you know, if you watch my last video, that has not changed. So yeah, first thing I do is I go in with my Anastasia Dip Brow and a little angled brush, and I just fill in my sparse areas and then like create like a shape to follow. So after I fill them in, I go in with the e.l.f. brow lift, and I lay my hairs down. So that. So I just take my spoolie and dip it in there a few times, and it picks up really easily. And I like to go forward first so that all of the hairs get coated, and I can make sure that. And then I like to brush up and then out at the tails. I'm gonna take my LA Girl concealer just because I like the applicator on here for like getting underneath my eyebrows. So I'm gonna use that today. And this is in the shade Toffee. Do my eyebrows look good? I think they look good enough. They look kind of different. They definitely look different. Okay, so this is one of the things that I just changed, which is the primer that I use. So I use the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer with the Niacinamide, and I used to use the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I love both, but I've been really liking this one. I feel like I got really oily with the other one because I do have dry skin initially, but over like the day my skin can get really oily, especially in the summertime. So with it warming up out, this has been eating the girls up, so highly recommend. So I take some in my hand. I'm gonna do like 3 pounds basically, and I like to rub this in. I tried tapping it in like they suggested, but I don't really like it. I didn't like the results of that. I feel like it made me look very patchy. So I like to rub it in and then tap it in to top it off. That's just my personal preference. And yeah, I do like putting this on like right before I do my foundation though, because I feel like once it gets too dry, it just looks patchy, and so I do prefer to do it. So once I have it all rubbed in, I just like to tap it. So once I feel like my primer's all good, I go ahead and I use setting powder underneath my eyes. So for setting powder, I use the Huda Beauty powder which has changed since my last video. I use Maybelline Fit Me, and now yesterday I found out that there's like a fixing powder and a setting powder, and they're different. So in my last video I was using Maybelline Fit Me, which is a fixing powder. I didn't purposely switch, but I found that out after the fact, and I do have both a setting and fixing luckily, so we can use them correctly. So I like to set my under eyes just because I do get really bad creasing now, and then what I used to do was set my under eyes, and I didn't have this problem before, at least I didn't notice it. So now I've gone back to setting my under eyes. So for foundation I use the Too Faced. Let me just rummage before. Okay, so I use the Too Faced foundation and the Estee Lauder foundation. As you can see, this one is way more like yellowy reddish, like warm, and this one is cooler, and I mixed the two together, and this combo is like changing. Like I already love this foundation, but this foundation plus this foundation is heaven sent. Like maybe I just need to start my own foundation brand where I literally just mix these two together and sell it as my own. That is probably like a crime or something, but it is expensive. Like these are both like $40 something foundations, so it can be expensive, but I actually got this one during the Ulta sale and it was like 25 bucks, half off. So yeah. And honestly y'all, I'm not really good with shade matching my makeup like at all, but I make it work. And nobody has ever said anything about the shade of my makeup. Like look at that. Mainly in those areas, and I'll just put the accents on my forehead. Okay, and then I like to first go in with my brush and blend that out. So I like to pick up the extra product, and that also helps, like it soaks this up instead of soaking up what I put on my face. So honestly y'all, I do not need shade matching advice. Like this works for me, and honestly I just told y'all how much those foundations cost, so I'm not about to go buy more shades of them. But yeah, but I don't use a lot to the point where it's like full coverage and it's like, okay girl, that's really not your shade. Plus, when I go in with my contour and concealer, it'll blend. Okay. I like to take this and blend with this, and I like probably like, girl, what the heck? But I love this. Like I highly recommend this to everybody. Like I've totally stopped using my beauty blender because of this, and they're so cheap. Like yes, you know. So I just blend. We're gonna get into concealer. So for concealer, like I said, I use the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I'm just gonna put it right here and right here. And we're gonna let that sit for a second. Here's my little brush. I'm gonna kind of spread it out with this brush. So for contour, I use the same two from the last video. I think I used two, but I'm just gonna go in right there and on my forehead, and then I take this darker one and I just put it on my brush instead of directly on my face. Yeah, and the last two, I think I put them like on top of each other. I like to do this now just because since I do like using a darker shade, I don't want it to look too harsh. So I like to just put my brush on it and do it like that. I used to do my contour like really high up, but I realized I didn't like that look. And honestly, y'all, I recommend y'all trying it because it's like a trend to like snatch it up and put it like all the way up here. But I'm the type, like, I want my blush to show and my contour to show, and when you put it high up, they just kind of mix, and I don't like that look. So I started back doing it like regular, where my, you know, cheekbones actually are, and I really like it. So I recommend it to everybody else. Obviously, do like remember how you want to do it, but just a recommendation. And then I do my forehead, which I try to be really light-handed with my forehead because as y'all can see, I'm wearing a wig, so it can look a bit crazy up there. I'm gonna go ahead and place the rest of my concealer. And we're gonna blend. Like I said, I like to blend with this powder puff, and I like to blend this up underneath my eyes instead of like putting it right underneath my eyes and blending down, because it like distributes the powder under there, I mean the product under there better, and there'll be less creasing, personally, in my opinion. So I like to take the darker shade on my nose and just give it a nice little 9. And I go in with my little fluffy brush and buff it out for my nose contour. And that is done. No creasing out of my eye, so period. And as you can see, we're nice and good on our liquids and creams and all that. We're gonna get into powder. So like I said earlier, I discovered the difference between a setting powder / baking powder. And as you can see, we got a lot on there. So I like to take the excess and really just like put it on here. I'm gonna use that. So I like to go in on my forehead and then underneath my eyes. Also, yeah, this powder smells really good. So just going in and setting everything. And I'm not really the bakery type girl. I don't like to bake, so we ain't doing all that. Okay, so now with our finishing powder, we're going to go with a brush. Crucial, you should always use your finishing powder with brushes. and she's lighter, so she's not gonna stick. And so the science behind this is that finishing powders have mica powder. Mica powder, is that what it's called? So it's gonna give flashback because mica reflects, so it's gonna give flashback. They're mica based, I think, and setting powders are going to be talc based, which is going to like not reflect, like they're gonna soak up moisture. And so you want to finish off your concealer and foundation and stuff with a setting powder to set it in place and lock it and absorb that excess moisture so that it's not transferring. And so now I'm gonna go with my bronzer. Where's my bronzing brush? And I'm gonna take bronzer and bronze my face. And this is gonna give my face just a nice warm touch, especially after all that powder. You want to warm your face back up. Ugh. The pink Dior blush. Honestly, y'all, this blush is really overrated. I'm actually probably gonna go to Ulta today and get the Juvia's Place blush, but really overrated. It's not super pigmented, and it's like, it's buildable, but it's like, it should be more color than it is. And y'all, I kind of shaved the top off because I messed it up and it was like super flat and wouldn't pick up. So there's literally like a loose blush and it's still like barely blushing. Obviously on lighter skin it would show up more, but for the price of this blush it should be very universal and very friendly to all skin tones. This is an $80 blush, like it's not cheap. I used the Fenty highlight, same from the last video. Set my face with the e.l.f. setting spray. Okay, y'all, so I lined my lips off camera by mistake because my camera turned off, but I just used a red lip brow liner.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass on.